This comes from Paxton Styles in Cheverly, Maryland. And here's why. I've never met Paxton, but here's why I like Paxton. Last week, we said that was one of our favorite names. I mentioned that sounds like a guy maybe who's in a boy band. And he says in parentheses, Paxton Styles, parentheses, boy band member. So Paxton, there you go. I like it. A sense of humor from our buddy Paxton.
Love it.
All right, the question here. Hey, Mary Kay, if you could keep just one of the players the Browns will most likely lose this offseason for any number of reasons, who would you keep and why? And the reason this is a sort of Kareem Hunt adjacent question is because that is the player that he picked.
I think it would be Ethan Posick for me. I think that Ethan Posick has a good chance of finding a new home because of the money he can make out on the open market. And I think, and we talked about this some on our podcast yesterday, and that is, I just think that center is such a valuable position. I think that Nick Harris, although they believe in him and think he's going to be really great, I think when you're coming off of a major knee injury like that, it's always a little dicey. You already know what you have in Ethan Posick. And, when you're rolling Deshaun Watson out there to play for his first full season, you want everything to be set. You want things to be good. And I think one of the best ways to do that would be to somehow retain Ethan Posick. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I think he's the obvious number one. I could see the argument for Kareem. The argument that Paxton made was if he were used correctly, he could be effective. I would throw out, I'm going to go with Taki, which is funny because I don't think that would have been my answer, 5 months ago. But when you're looking at guys who are headed for free agency, you're looking at those linebackers. We talked about them a little bit yesterday, Anthony Walker and Taki. And I think they stumbled into something with this guy all of a sudden. 4 years in, I think they might have found something there.
Yeah, he was showing signs in his first few years of being really good against the run. He showed flashes. And then the lights really kind of came on for him last year. The game slowed down a little bit, and he did a really nice job. And I think they will try to re-sign him, and I think they probably will be successful. So I think Anthony's coming back. I think Sione Taki's coming back. I think Dearness Johnson has a good chance of coming back. So out of some of those guys, there aren't a ton that I think are going to be gone. I think Greedy's gone. I've written this the other day. I think Ronnie Harrison's gone. But I think Anthony and Sione can be back. And I think Ethan is all about the money, and that one would be surprising if he can come back. But if they find a way to do it, that would be good for them.
And I don't blame him. The guy's sort of been, he certainly didn't come here to end up being the starting center. And now he kind of stumbled into a lottery ticket. So I certainly don't blame him. This is a quick one.